Hello, I'm Andy, and today I want to show a pretty good Norwich 20 build order for Spain. In my opinion, this is the best way to play Spain, because you have Imperial Soldados, you have a good economy, and it's just generally very powerful and should be able to beat quite a lot of other build orders. So, without further ado, let's jump into the video and explain how to boom and how to get to that point and what things to consider. Okay, so let's get into the build order. In H1, what we want to do is we want to get a market and we want to get our market upgrades. And especially the hunting dogs we want to get immediately. And then we basically just want to get the other H1 upgrades. So the placer mines and the wood upgrade. You really want to always keep your PC producing, so only get those upgrades when you have enough food income to not delay your production on villagers. We typically want to get up with 17 villagers. In this case I went up with 16, but I think you should probably always go with 17. It just works out better. You don't need to chop any wood anymore after you get the placer mines. And yeah. So for treasures, I think the most important treasures are food and coin. Wood is nice before you get the upgrades, but after that it's not too good. You also want to age up with the cows and 2 villagers. I don't think you want to go for the logistician in Norwich 20 because I don't think it pays off, and you would rather have a bit more tempo. So that's why I think I wouldn't do that. So yeah, so once you're going to H3, you want to send a lot of villagers to wood. This is because we need our TC. We want to go up the covered wagon, of course, to H3 because the other upgrades or the other politicians really don't make much sense in a treaty scenario. And after that we want to get our market upgrade. So especially our food upgrade, so the placer mines, the steel traps is very important. In H3 we also want to get the Spanish gold, we want to get refridgeration, we want to get the viceroyalty of New Spain, so we get our 2 haciendas. You can also send Joy Mint. You don't have too many villagers on coin yet, but you will have enough shipments to send the factories anyway, so you can just send it really. Yeah, and I think you should just send almost all, or you should send a lot villagers to food. So up to this point I don't think you would need other villagers on food. So until you are aging to 4, you don't need villagers on coin or wood. Maybe some to get some houses, but really the big part of your villagers should be on food. And eventually you want to transition some to coin, so you can get up to H5.
While you progress in age,
if you
I
are
sharpen my saber. A blade through the heart kills even the most advanced soldier type.
So if you're playing it cleanly, you should go to H5 at around 15, I think. I should have gotten my what is it called, amalgamation upgrade, so the second market upgrade a bit earlier. And yeah, so maybe like after 20 villagers, so after you have 20 on food, you should probably switch some to coin. And ideally you don't overproduce food, but in the end it doesn't matter too much. I mean, 15 is the time you typically go to H5, and that's good enough. After that I would transition a lot of villagers to the haciendas. At 16 I think that's the time you want to do that. You need some villagers on wood so you can get houses. You still need some villagers on food, so you can keep producing villagers. I think at 17 you should also switch your factories to heavy cannons. And you should also rush a capital. Because with immigration you always want to get immigration. But I would slow down a bit. But if you get it earlier, you avoid spending the wood on houses basically. So that's why we ideally want to get it as soon as we go to H5. At this point, you usually also want a arsenal, and you want to have advanced arsenal. I will put in the deck really, so this is not a deck I would use today. And in the advanced arsenal, you would want to get the infantry upgrades for the Soldados. And right now, you also I should have sent the cavalry combat and not the liberation march. So if I play this again, I would send the unction, maybe discard. Yeah. And of course you need, yeah. Now what I often forget is the missionaries. That's very important actually, so with missionaries your push is a lot stronger, so you really shouldn't forget that. The arsenal upgrades are something I also tend to forget. And really all the new villagers are going on wood because we need to transition our economy to mills. And the mill economy costs wood, of course. I don't think you need estates that early because you should still have a few mines, and with the mines you should just be able to stay on longer and not produce any coin. Yeah. So at this point I would also switch one factory back to something else, so to coin for example, so you have some coin income. And yeah, this will be your push, so you will have a full population army. You should also get a few more doggies. And you have Soldados. You should also have, like I said, the missionaries, which I sadly forgot in this game. And yeah. Why are these Soldados so good? Because they shadow tech, so you don't need any upgrades. In this game I got the Lancer upgrade. Yeah. But basically those get upgrades automatically. And that helps a lot because typically in this scenario you often cannot afford Imperial upgrades, or it's very difficult to get them. So that's why they are pretty good. Also with the unction, let's see if I get them eventually. I think I completely forgot them in this game. With unction, those guys do have over 100 attack. They cost a lot of population, but that's not too important, I think, in this game mode. Or that's not a huge disadvantage. And yeah, overall you just have a powerful army. You have units that shadow tech, so the Soldados. You do have the dogs which also shadow tech, and you have unction, which helps you. Maybe to transition, a few words about transitioning. At some point I would just move economy away from the haciendas to get more mills and estates, and just transition into a more traditional unit composition, so with skirmishers, maybe some rods, maybe some lancers. So first I would take these and the other cannons, then I would get these to Imperial, and after that I would get the infantry to Imperial. Yeah. That's basically everything there is to say about this build order. I think it's a lot of fun to play this build order, so it's also decently powerful, it feels good to play. You don't have the best economy with Spain, so the best boom. But thanks to the shadow tagging and thanks to the unction, which I just got now, you should be able to get some good games, or at least it's a fun build order, and I think it's powerful. It should be able to compete with British, for example, or also Portuguese. So thanks for watching, and let me know how this build order went for you, and see you guys around. Bye bye.